What's up, Falcons Nation? It's your boy Jew coming at you with another Atlanta Falcons video. As always, Falcons Nation, rise up. In today's video, I want to do some quick Atlanta Falcons news, and then I also want to talk about this Atlanta Falcons coaching staff and talk a little bit about yesterday's loss against the New Orleans Saints. But if you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you know when I've done Atlanta Falcons content. Hit that like button for your boy. I appreciate you guys continuing to tune into the channel. I appreciate you guys continuing to share out my content. If you would like to follow your boy on Twitter, you can follow me at JewTalkSports. But with that being said, let's jump right into the video. So my quick Atlanta Falcons news. If you haven't heard already, Vic Beasley, former Atlanta Falcons defensive end, was actually signed to the Las Vegas Raiders practice squad, and also Pat McKinley, former Atlanta Falcons defensive end, was actually claimed off of waivers by the Las Vegas Raiders today as well. So I found this really ironic that the Las Vegas Raiders signed both former Atlanta Falcons defensive ends, especially because we face them this coming Sunday. It is a 1 p.m. game at home. But I did find this really ironic that they signed both of our former defensive ends. I don't know if this is some type of gamesmanship where they're trying to just pick their brains about our team and our scheme and things of that nature, or whether they just brought these guys in to try to help their team in general, as far as help that, join their roster. So I did find that kind of ironic that both of those guys were signed the week of us playing them, getting ready to play them. But if you remember, Pat McKinley, he actually has been claimed off of waivers twice now. He first was claimed off of waivers by the Cincinnati Bengals when we first released him, and he didn't pass his physical, so he was cut. Then he was signed off of waivers by the 49ers, and they cut him as well because he failed his physical. So I believe with this Las Vegas Raiders claiming him off of waivers, it possibly is pending his physical. So we'll see how that goes. But I just found it really funny that they decided to sign both of these guys the week of preparing for this game on Sunday, which is a 1 p.m. game at home for Atlanta Falcons. But that's pretty much all I have for my quick Atlanta Falcons news. Now I want to jump into this Atlanta Falcons coaching staff and why I feel like it's time to we have to go ahead and clean this coaching staff. It has to be a clean sweep at the end of the season. I don't think we bring back any of these guys. Raheem Morris and the whole coaching staff has to go. After watching tonight's Monday Night Football game between the LA Rams and between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, to me, the LA Rams and Sean McVay, his great play calling, it just made our Atlanta Falcons look that much worse with me sitting here watching this Monday Night Football game and how innovative and creative Sean McVay is with the offense of the LA Rams. The LA Rams don't have the weapons to me, or their weapons are not better than our Atlanta Falcons. But Sean McVay does a great job of scheming guys open, kind of like a Kyle Shanahan. He did a great job of his game planning in this game. I love what I've seen out of Sean McVay and not allowing the Buccaneers, who is a team that's similar to the Saints, because Todd Bowles and Dennis Allen, both of those guys, defensive coordinators for the Saints and the Buccaneers, love to blitz, love to be aggressive. Their front sevens are very aggressive. They love to bring pressure. And Sean McVay did a good job of taking Todd Bowles to school tonight. I hope the Atlanta Falcons coaching staff was watching this game, especially Dirk Cutter. He needs to take a page out of Sean McVay's book. Yesterday we seen literally no huddle, and we should have definitely seen some up tempo and some no huddle. We all know that Matt Ryan is one of the best quarterbacks when it comes to the 2-minute drill and the no huddle. And the way that you slow down a pass rush, the way that you slow down the blitz is exactly what Sean McVay showed tonight. I love the game plan from Sean McVay. I love what he did against this Tampa Bay Buccaneers aggressive defense. I've talked about it numerous times for our Atlanta Falcons with Dirk Cutter and being more creative, being more innovative, using jet sweeps, using a lot of window dressing. That's what Sean McVay does. He uses a lot of window dressing in his plays. He uses a lot of misdirection, and that's the way that you take advantage of teams that are playing aggressive on defense and blitzing and doing a lot of, being very aggressive. You have to use their aggressiveness against them. You have to use their false steps against these defensive players. And to me, Dirk Cutter hasn't done a good job this season of being more creative, window dressing. He's no imagination in his offense. And that's what's really hurting the Atlanta Falcons. You can't just expect your talent to outplay the opposing team. The NFL is one of those leagues where coaching is very important. In the NFL, coaching is paramount. It's not like the NBA where you can just have a bunch of all-stars and that's going to win you a championship. You have to have great coaching. And that was proven tonight when you watch the Buccaneers play. They have way more weapons on their offense than the Rams. Don't get me wrong. Cooper Kupp is a good wide receiver. Robert Woods, I don't want to water down or downplay these guys. Those guys are Pro Bowl players. Those guys are pretty good players at the wide receiver position. But they're not as talented as Mike Evans. They're not as talented as Chris Godwin. And they're not as talented as Antonio Brown. The Buccaneers clearly has the better offensive weapons. But Sean McVay is proving where he proved tonight that it's not about the roster or what you have on paper. It's all about coaching. It's all about scheme. It's all about outsmarting the opponent. And that's what they did tonight. Even on defense, I feel like the Buccaneers have more talent on their defense, than the Rams actually have on their defense. The Rams have two players that are like superstar players, Aaron Donald and on the outside, Jalen Ramsey. Those are their two main guys that are like all pro, all world players. But the Buccaneers have guys all over the field, from Ndamukong Suh to Shaq Barrett to JPP. On the back end, the kid Carlton Davis is really stepping in, coming into his own. Antoine Winfield Jr., who's actually a rookie, has played pretty well this season. And then on the second level, with those linebackers, Devin White, who was, I think, their first round pick a couple years ago, and also Levante David. So they have more talent. If you look from top to bottom, the Buccaneers have more talent than the LA Rams. But it was proven tonight that the NFL is not based off of talent. You do need talent on your team, but just because you have the more talented roster, if you don't have a good scheme, if you don't know how to use guys, talent doesn't matter. And that was proven tonight. I talk about it all the time. Number one, on defense, it was proven tonight. You must have a defensive line that can pressure with your front four. With the Atlanta Falcons, one of our biggest weaknesses, and it was proven again yesterday, we don't have good enough players on our defensive line. We need better players on the defensive line. If you watch the game tonight between the Rams and the Bucs, the Rams were able to get pressure on Tom Brady all night. Between Michael Brockers, Aaron Donald, Leonard Floyd, all of those guys on that defensive line for the LA Rams. Those guys were getting pressure on Tom Brady all night. They made him uncomfortable. And he looked similar to Matt Ryan yesterday when Matt Ryan was sacked 9 times. The pressure was coming all night. Tom Brady threw 2 interceptions, just like Matt Ryan yesterday. He was under duress. He was under pressure. Bruce Arians failed to run the football just the same way that the Falcons did against the Saints. He failed to get Rojo the ball and run the football, and he failed to give Leonard Fournette enough carries in this game. And the Rams were able to pin their ears back and get after them. And they were able to get after them with their front four. And they played a lot of press man coverage. And they did a good job of mixing up their blitzes and mixing up their scheme. So tonight it just showed again that coaching is paramount in the NFL. Doesn't matter how much talent you have. If you fail to coach and you fail to put players in position to succeed, you're going to continue to struggle. We're going to continue to lose games. So I kind of wanted to just highlight tonight's game with the Rams and kind of compare it to the game yesterday against the Saints, between the Saints and the Falcons, because a lot of the things that I want to see from the Atlanta Falcons yesterday, I saw it tonight with the LA Rams and with Sean McVay. I talked about it in my pregame show about getting the football out quick 3-step drops. Sean McVay did a great job in this game of getting the ball out of Jared Goff's hands very fast, get it into the hands of Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods, Cam Akers. Let these guys run out the catch. The kid Everett, the tight end for the Rams, Tyler Higbee, the other tight end for the Rams. Sean McVay did a great job of quick snapping the ball, throwing the ball really quick. They did a good job of going up tempo, getting up to the line very quickly, not allowing the Buccaneers to set up those exotic blitzes and things of that nature. And they basically just wore the Tampa Bay defense out over time. And the way you do that is you go up tempo. You don't allow those guys to substitute players on and off the field. And I don't remember seeing one time yesterday where the Falcons went up tempo. I feel like this year we really haven't run up tempo at all. The Falcons haven't run enough up tempo. The only time I've seen us run up tempo is when we're down, and that's been few far in between. I can't even really remember a game this season where the Falcons went up tempo. And we all know, like I said, we all know that Matt Ryan is great in the no huddle. He's great at calling plays at the line. Another thing I talked about in our post-game show yesterday is Dirk Cutter struggles when Julio Jones is not on the field. It looked like we could hardly ever convert a third down without Julio Jones on the field. It was, I believe, after halftime, it was 3 consecutive 3-and-outs because Julio Jones wasn't on the field. We went 3-and-out 3 consecutive times. So as much as I want to put, we want to put a lot of the blame on the defense, it's not fair to the defense when we're not playing complementary football, meaning the offense isn't making drives and the defense is getting tired out because they're right back on the field, 3-and-out, 3-and-out, 3-and-out. When you keep going 3-and-out, that tires out your defense when they have to keep coming back on the field over and over and over again, and you're not sustaining drives on offense. And I blame that on Dirk Cutter. So I was very disappointed today when I seen Raheem Morris's media session. I don't think that he took responsibility and accountability for yesterday's loss. And I feel like as the head coach, he should have taken the blame for the loss yesterday. He should have said, we didn't have these guys prepared to play. We didn't come in with a good game plan, which they didn't, because if you watched the game yesterday between the Falcons and Saints, it wasn't a good game plan, especially on offense. The offense was terrible. The defense actually played well the first half, but I believe eventually, after time in the second half, the defense just wore down because the offense wasn't sustaining drives. So that goes hand in hand. The offense have to sustain drives to let the defense be fresh and allow them to rush the passer and continue to be able to play good defense. But if your defense is consistently on the field over and over again because of 3-and-outs by the offense, they're going to eventually get tired and get worn down. And that's pretty much what happened yesterday in yesterday's game. The Falcons defense held the Saints to 10 points in the first half. Going into halftime, it was 10-9. And they basically did a good job. They held the Saints to 1 touchdown in the first half. They held Taysom Hill down, and they held down that offense. But the Falcons offense couldn't get anything going. And I placed the blame on Dirk Cutter solely because the game planning was horrible yesterday. It was horrific. No quick passes, no huddle, no imagination. It seemed like the only time we could convert anything was when Julio Jones was on the field. It seems like anytime Julio Jones is off the field, our offense can't move up and down the field. We cannot even complete third downs. Yesterday, I believe we were like 2 of 14 or something crazy like that on third down, which is ridiculous. For all of the talent that we have on the Atlanta Falcons offense, we should be putting up 25 to 30 points easy. And tonight just showed it. And this is the reason why I say I want the Atlanta Falcons to go after an offensive-minded coach. Tomorrow I'm going to have a video for you guys. I'm going to start making videos about new coaches or new coaches that I would like to be candidates for the head coaching job. At this point, I'm done with the Raheem Morris train. I was, saying if he could win a couple of these games, we possibly could keep Raheem Morris as the head coach. But at this point, I'm done with that. I want Raheem Morris and this whole coaching staff wiped. I think all of them need to go at this point. And it was just proven tonight with me watching this Monday Night Football game. It was just embarrassing to see how great these other young offensive coaches are in this league now. It's an offensive league at this point. Defense does win championships, and I do believe you can win with a defensive coach. But the way that this Atlanta Falcons team is built, I really think that we need to go after an offensive-minded coach for this head coaching job after this season. We need to bring in one of these young offensive minds, like a Sean McVay, like a Eric Bieniemy, like the guy that was on our coaching staff, LaFleur, that coaches the Green Bay Packers. We need somebody like that to come in with this offense, and I would bring in a veteran defensive mind to run the defense. But at this point, we need to go with one of these young offensive minds that can be creative, that can put up points, and that could get this offense up and going, because it's no reason why we put up only 9 points yesterday against the New Orleans Saints. It's no reason. It's too much talent on this offense. Offensively, it's too much talent on this Falcons team. Calvin Ridley, first-round pick. Julio Jones, first-round pick. Russell Gage, Todd Gurley, first-round pick. Like Matt Ryan, first-round pick. Like, it's too much talent on this team for the Atlanta Falcons to be sitting at 3-7. It's too much talent on this team. So I'm fed up with it. Hats off to the New Orleans Saints. We'll see them again in 2 weeks after this game against the Raiders. The Saints will come to Atlanta. We're going to see what our Atlanta Falcons can do against them in round 2. But this being your boy Jew, I kind of just want to get some of that stuff off my chest. I'm going to have a lot more content coming for you guys. A lot more content coming for you guys about the next coaches. At this point, it's time to start talking about who's going to be the next coach for the Atlanta Falcons, because I don't feel like that coach is on this current staff. I think it's time to get rid of Raheem Morris. As I said before, even if Raheem Morris wins all the rest of these games, I think Raheem Morris has to go. And the reason I said that he has to go is if Raheem Morris stays on as the head coach, I'm too afraid that he would keep on Dirk Cutter as his offensive coordinator, and Dirk Cutter has to go. I've seen enough of the non-creative offense, this very vanilla offense where everybody knows what we're going to do next. The defense is not creative enough either. I do think that Jeff Ulbrich has done a pretty good job. Him and Raheem Morris have done a pretty good job since Dan Quinn has been let go. But just doing a little bit better is not enough. We need a total sweep of this coaching staff at this point. And like I said, just watching the media session today of Raheem Morris, I've seen too much finger pointing. Him saying Matt Ryan was to blame for some of those sacks for holding on to the ball too long, saying some of them were covered sacks. I don't care what the reasoning was for the display that I seen yesterday on offense. It was unexcusable, point blank in the period. And I feel like he should have taken the blame as the head coach for not having these guys prepared to play and putting these guys in bad positions. And Dirk Cutter should have also taken the blame for the terrible play calling on offense. It was too many times where I seen literally no one open. And that's a problem. When you have all of this talent that's on this team, it's no reason why nobody's open and all of these guys are hugged up and it's nobody open. That means that the play calling is too predictable. If a defense can shut you down, and Matt Ryan literally has nobody to throw to, because on a lot of the sacks that I seen yesterday, the offensive line did a pretty good job, but you can't expect the offensive line to hold up for 7 to 8 seconds. It was numerous times where I seen Matt Ryan double clutching, trying to find somebody open, nobody open, him patting the ball, and it's nobody open. It was times where he had 3 and 4 or 5 seconds in the pocket, and the pocket was collapsing, but the offensive line did a fairly good job at blocking for the most part. It was nobody getting open. Like, you can't expect these guys to continue to pass block, for 6 and 7 seconds, especially with the heat that the Saints were bringing. Dennis Allen loves the blitz, and they were bringing the blitz all night. It was just like a hellacious blitz coming at us. 6, 7, 8-man fronts coming at Matt Ryan the whole game. And once the Saints realized that our offensive line couldn't hold up, and they realized that nobody could break open, they just continued to hug up and continue to tighten up on the offense and the offensive line, kind of like a boa constrictor. Just continue to tighten up, where it was literally nowhere for Matt Ryan to go with the football. So I blame that on coaching. But with that being said, this being your boy Jew. You guys let me know what you think in the comments. What do you think about new head coaching hires? I'm going to have a bunch of videos coming out. Each video is going to have a new head coach that I think should be considered for this head coaching job. But with that being said, please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you know when I've done content. I appreciate you guys. I just had to get a few things off my chest after watching this Monday Night Football game. I was just so disappointed after seeing that showing that our Atlanta Falcons put on the field yesterday. I was disgusted. But with that being said, we're going to continue to ride or die with our team. I'm going to continue to ride or die, continue to make videos for you guys. I don't care if we don't win another game this season. I'm going to be here all season giving you guys the best content. You guys continue, like I said, to like, share, subscribe, leave your comments. If it's a topic you want me to touch on, leave your comments below. I'll be happy to touch on any comments you have, or look up information on any coach that you may want me to us to consider for the next coaching, the next coaching hire for the head coaching position. But with that being said, this been your boy Jew. I appreciate you guys continuing to tune in. And as always, Falcons Nation, rise up. Peace and love. Y'all have a good night.